Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome here to the launch pad and our live launch coverage of SpaceX Starlink 10-41, set to launch from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. My name is Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the Launchpad Network, and here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together, and we're glad to have you joining us live here tonight, counting down just over 26 and a half minutes till launch of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket to low Earth orbit. On board today, we have 29 Starlink V2 minis heading up to low Earth orbit. Tonight's Falcon 9 booster is booster 1078, going for its 26th flight. This booster first flew on March 2nd of 2023 when it launched SpaceX Crew 6 to the International Space Station, and it last flew on January 12th of this year, launching Starlink 6-97 from the same pad. It is previously supported, as I said, Crew 6, SES-03B Empower B, USSF 124, Bluebird 1 through 5, Nusataria Lima, or PSN N5, and 20 previous Starlink missions. Tonight's Falcon 9 first stage will land on the drone ship Just Read the Instructions, which is stationed downrange in the Atlantic Ocean. You're looking at a loop of the live weather conditions. You can see a little bit of weather down on the southwestern part of Florida, but here on the Space Coast tonight, looks like a nice clear evening, and as you can see there, we are green across the board for launch here tonight. Now, as always, I'm going to be answering your guys' comments and questions. You can send those in the chat by tagging me at the Launchpad, and I'll do my very best on answering those live for you here tonight. If you haven't yet, take a moment, engage the like button, share it the stream, and invite people to join us while we continue to count down to launch here, T-minus 25 minutes and counting. 10 minutes ago, or just over 10 minutes ago, we had the go, no go for propellant loading, and as the countdown clock continues to run, we know that they are locked into today's launch opportunity. Today they did have a launch window that opened at 7:07 p.m. Eastern and ran all the way to 11:07 p.m. Eastern time. They are currently targeting liftoff of 9:56 and 40 seconds Eastern, and now that we are into fueling operations, they are locked in for that opportunity. So for any reason they don't launch tonight, their next earliest launch attempt would be tomorrow evening. Just over 10 minutes ago, RP-1, or rocket kerosene, began loading on both the first and second stage. Liquid oxygen began loading on the first stage as well. We got about 10 minutes, just under about 8 minutes now, until liquid oxygen begins loading onto the second stage. And then I'll be continuing to take you through the rest of today's countdown and through today's flight. Now, as usual, SpaceX no longer provides live coverage of Starlink deployment, so we will be ending our broadcast shortly after first stage touchdown and confirmation of the second stage, with the payload reaching its initial parking orbit. Following the ending of our coverage, the second stage will conduct one extra burn. That burn will occur 54 minutes, 10 seconds into flight for 1 second, and that'll take it from its initial parking orbit to its deployment orbit. At T plus 1 hour, 3 minutes, 31 seconds into flight, those 29 Starlink V2 minis will be deployed to low Earth orbit. We got lots of people jumping in the chat from all over the world, so if you haven't yet, take a moment, let us know where you're watching from, and as I said, you can keep sending in those questions by tagging me at the Launchpad, and I'll work on answering those live here tonight. Penny says, going to run outside at liftoff, hope to see the rocket go by. I'm probably going to do the same as well, so you'll have to bear with me that you might not have commentary for the first few minutes after flight, but we'll do our best as I'm getting ready to depart the Space Coast. I can't tell you where I'm going just yet, but super excited to tell you guys in the near future on where I will be going for the next couple of weeks. And then, of course, I'll be back here for the next launch attempt of Artemis 2, which is currently set for no earlier than April 1st. That is the next possible launch window. But we, of course, are waiting for SpaceX to, or not SpaceX, SpaceX has nothing to do with Artemis 2, waiting for NASA to confirm when they will do another rollout of the Space Launch System and whether they will conduct another wet dress rehearsal or go straight towards another launch attempt. It was a big week for Artemis last week with the rollback into the vehicle assembly building. Again, a huge thank you to NASA PAO for the absolutely incredible opportunity to step in the VAB not only once but twice just prior to rollback, and then standing under SLS during rollback, and then re-entering the VAB to get to see her up close and personal, to the point where there was regions we couldn't even take our technology with us because they were restricted RF zones, and it was truly an honor of a lifetime to get to stand that close to a moon rocket that will launch 4 astronauts around the moon in hopefully just a few weeks. Lots of people just jumping on in the chat. We've got Velendavi, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, from Dulion, Florida. Welcome. We got Dave F. in Michigan. Great to have you here. Squish is watching from PEI. Hello. We got Juan watching in Sarasota, Florida. Welcome. Great to have you joining us here tonight. See a couple people asking when launch. The countdown clock in the top right corner of your screen. SpaceX targeting 9:56 p.m. and 40 seconds for liftoff of Falcon 9 here tonight. Now, you can watch us on all of your favorite social media platforms. We're not only on YouTube, so make sure you're following us on all social media. We got Diane watching from just northeastern part of Pennsylvania. Welcome. And Nancy watching from Marco Island in Florida as well. It's great having you joining us live here tonight. Joe Dog McKeel, I think I know where you're going. Those yellow roses should be in full bloom when you get there. I don't even know what that means, so you might have to send me a DM with what you're thinking. Great to have so many people jumping on. Michael watching from Weatherford in Texas. Welcome. We got Fred in Long Island, New York. Ellen is in Reading or Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Welcome. We got Don watching from Middleburg, Florida. Welcome. Great to have you here. Joe Dog watching from Tennessee. It's great to see you. It's been a little bit. Rory's watching from the Chicagoland area. And we got Mark in Wiggins, Colorado. Ellen, I think the view time from Reading, Pennsylvania is nearly 10 minutes. It took about that for the last crew launch. So if we were launching in a we are launching in a northeasterly trajectory. Correction there. I was so used to us launching in a southwest or southeast trajectory. Thank you for saying that. I needed to double check my notes for tonight. Tonight's launch is launching in a northeasterly trajectory, which, yes, that means anyone on the eastern seaboard, depending on your weather conditions and your elevation, you may actually have a great opportunity to view the launch here this evening. It means I'm not going to get as good of a view, sad face, but I hope that many of you do get a great view here this evening. If you do happen to take photos or videos of today's launch, make sure you send them to us over on Facebook. We've got the TLP community. It's free to join, or you can send it over on the TLP Discord as well. And if you're just joining us, welcome here to the launch pad. T-minus 17 minutes, 10 seconds and counting till launch of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket carrying 29 Starlink V2 minis to low Earth orbit. We got lots of people just jumping on, so we'll do some more shout outs here as we wait for SpaceX to begin their live coverage. They normally do that right around the 5 or 6 minute mark. Of course, once they do, we will patch them in and listen in to Mission Control. We got Becca watching from Ocala. Mark is in South Carolina. We got Mickey in Union City, Tennessee. Alex is in Columbus in Nebraska, excuse me. We got Javin in Spring Hill, Florida, checking in. Welcome, great to have you here. We got John hoping to catch a glimpse of it in Massachusetts. We got Kevin in Lafayette, Louisiana. And Christina is in New Jersey, but it's too bright to see the launch where you are tonight. Lots of people jumping on. We got MHJ watching from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Welcome. NIV in St. Augustine. We got Blue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Charles is in West Palm Beach. Andrid, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. What direction should I look? I live in New York City. Look straight east and really high up. By the time it gets to you, you're just going to be seeing the second stage. It's going to basically look like a star coming across the sky. But you might be able to still see it at that point. Look a little bit to the south probably as well. Depends, are you high up or down low? If you're on a really tall skyscraper, look to the south. And you might have an earlier sight of it coming into view. Coming down to L minus 15 minutes, 15 seconds, and counting till launch. That liquid oxygen now beginning to load onto the second stage. So right now, both the first and second stage have liquid oxygen and RP1 rocket grade kerosene being loaded onto the vehicle. Up next at T-minus 7 minutes, that's when Falcon 9 will begin its engine chill. That's when those nine Merlin 1D engines on the base of the first stage will begin being chilled in preparation for flight. Common Citizen saying green board. We just saw it there again. Yes, it's always great to see a nice green across the board. No wind, no lightning, no severe weather, no temperature issues. That's something we've had to be watching down here in Florida. For the last couple of months, we've had a few moments where that weather was something that we were having to watch. Lots of people just jumping on. Welcome. Keith in Twin Cities in Minnesota. Steve is in Forest, Virginia. We got Jim in Leesburg. Dave is in Michigan. Detroit is 100 meters away. That is very close. It's very, very close. Giving a quick update on the launch schedule ahead. Tomorrow night, we will have live coverage of Space One's Kairos rocket launch from Japan. This will be the third flight test. The last two didn't go so hot, so we're hoping third time's the charm. They did scrub last night due to upper level winds, I believe it was. So hopefully we'll have another launch opportunity tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We should be beginning coverage right around 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. On Wednesday at 1:58 a.m. Eastern, we have another launch from here on the Space Coast as long as tonight goes off. On Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, there's a Starlink launch from Vandenberg. Then on March 8th, we have a launch at 6:58 a.m. Eastern, 3:58 a.m. Pacific, Starlink from Vandenberg. And on March 9th at 11:14 p.m. Eastern, we have EchoStar 25 set to launch from here on Cape Canaveral. Nice to see a customer mission showing up. It's been a little bit of a while since we've seen one of those, and of course, lots of missions that we're keeping a close eye on for targeted launch dates. ISAR with Spectrum launching their onward and upward mission from Norway. We have the third flight of New Glenn, the first ever reflight of a New Glenn booster. Starship Flight 12, the first ever flight of V3 Starship and booster. GSAT 32 launching on an LVM-3 from India. And of course the big one, Artemis 2, launching 4 astronauts around the moon for the first time in over 52 years. Have a little bit of fun with y'all in the YouTube chat. What will launch first? Artemis 2, Starship Flight 12, or New Glenn Flight 3? Take a moment, let us know in the chat there, in that poll, what you think. I don't think we have the ability to do the same thing on Facebook, unfortunately. Aaron asking, will we be showing the launch live? Absolutely, that we will. Sherry says hello from West Palm Beach. We typically see it going up and then making a hard right. Is this the path tonight? No, we are actually launching in a northeasterly trajectory here this evening. So more similar to a crew launch to the International Space Station. Sending in that question. Taking a look at the poll right now. Starship Flight 12 in the win with 56%. No one has hope that New Glenn Flight 3 is going to launch first, which is odd because I'm personally completely opposite of the poll. So it'll be interesting to see. Take a moment, let us know in the poll what you think. 9 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting till launch. We're getting ready for SpaceX to begin their live coverage. We will, of course, patch them in here in just a moment when they begin that. And no, Mr. Computer, we do not want to restart right now for a software update. We're a little busy. Don't you love technology, right? We can land on the moon 50 years ago, but our computers still don't know when to not do a software update. Jeffrey says, good evening from Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome. Dave, I just voted and most people agreed. Fair enough. Just checking in with one of our TLP rocket chasers, Chris, who is currently wading out into the Indian River, ready to hopefully capture a photo of launch here tonight. Princess listening to Zach wrestle with Windows up to... never. I don't like Windows. I know, hot take. I am a Mac user. My entire life is Apple ecosystem, except for some of our TLP server stuff is Linux and Windows based, unfortunately. But That is the only time that I use those. And when I use those, I'm not normally touching the Windows software, I'm touching other software. So, but no, main ecosystem is Apple all the way. It definitely didn't help that I worked for the fruit stand. So, Ophelia, or when YouTube shows an ad right when the launch happens. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to control that. I do have a button that says insert ad, but that doesn't guarantee that they actually do it. And I promise I never click that, within like a minute or two of launch. I almost never click that ad, anyways, just in general. Um, Unless it's like a 5 hour coast phase, then, I might click it once or twice during the boring period. But yeah, I never click it like pre-launch. That'd be cruel. You keep in mind, I'm like all of y'all. I want to see the launch. I got into this just because I wanted to see the launch. Started as a hobby and now we're here. Getting to go in the VAB. It's kind of wild. SpaceX is getting spooled up, so in a minute we will, of course, listen in to them for their live commentary coverage updates. 5 minutes, 48 seconds, and counting till liftoff. That's all right, Blue. Not everyone likes them. That might have to be a poll for another time. Got hit with an ad just seconds after Zach makes that comment. I don't know. YouTube must be listening. It wasn't me. I can promise that. And that's not even sarcasm. If you're just joining us, though, welcome. We are counting now just over 5 minutes and counting till liftoff of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
Falcon 9
There is a live look.
Pressing for the start of Stromback retract.
Live look at the pad, where teams are continuing to fuel the rocket in preparation for liftoff.
Stromback retract has started.
And there's that call out for Stromback retract. That's that truss structure beside the vehicle. It'll retract away a few degrees in preparation for flight.
Stage 1 lock float is complete. Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Ground gas closeouts.
Falcon 9 has entered startup.
The launch director is go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Falcon is supersonic. Max Q.
MVAC chill has started. Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC startup.
Bearing separation confirmed.
Both vehicles are on a nominal trajectory. Both vehicles continue to follow a nominal trajectory.
Stage 1 FTS safe.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 entry burn shutdown. Stage 1 transonic. Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
1 landing leg deploy.
Stage 2 FTS safe.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there we have it, Falcon 9 booster 1078 completing its 26th flight on a 48-day turnaround with a successful landing on Just Read the Instructions. The second stage is now getting ready to complete its initial parking orbit. It'll then conduct one more burn. That burn set to occur 54 minutes, 10 seconds into flight for 1 second before payload deployment, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 31 seconds into flight. Fortunately, SpaceX no longer provides live coverage of deployment, so stay tuned to their social media for confirmation of deployment. Taking a very quick look over on our social media, our TLP rocket chaser Gavin was out in the field, captured this great photo from the Titusville area tonight. So thank you so much to Gavin for heading out there. Make sure you follow all of our TLP rocket chasers on social media, and make sure you subscribe here on YouTube or follow us, like us here on Facebook, so you never miss another live launch coverage. Well, that's going to do it for us here this evening. As always, thank you so much for joining us. My name's Zach, and here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because we believe that space is better together. And on behalf of the entire TLP crew, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.